Greetings, fellow tank commanders. In this video I'm going to be showing you a game that I played in the captured KV-1. This is a tier 5 premium heavy tank which can use either German or Russian crews. The game I'm playing is a standard battle on Overlord with tier 6 as the top tier and 2 artillery on the enemy team. I'm in a platoon with Cowboy Arizona, who is using a Chinook Kai, and McLord Plays, who is using a Churchill 3. My tank for this game is equipped with an enhanced gun laying drive, coated optics, and a gun rammer. All of these help enhance the offensive game style which I like to play with this tank. The large repair kit, large first aid kit, and automatic fire extinguisher aren't necessary for this tank, but I really enjoy using the captured KV-1, and so I always like to have the best game possible, and the large kits help with that. On Overlord, I don't usually extend so far forward on this flank for fear of getting swarmed, but since my team has such a strong flank over here and I get direct support from my platoon mates, I see no reason why not to try something new. It's of course very tricky to find the proper gun depression with this tank, so I'm going to be as cautious as possible to not overexpose myself. I really enjoy using the captured KV-1 because once you're in the battle, its high rate of fire gives you constant excitement. With the way my tank is currently fitted, my reload time is just under 2 seconds. With such a high rate of fire, you can have fun doing pretty much anything. It can be effective for peekaboo fighting like I am now, helping out with offensive maneuvers. If you're firing on the move, it'll keep the enemies pinned down until you can move into a new position. And it can be pretty fun sniping, but I don't recommend making it a regular thing. You can see here that I'm having a hard time penetrating this T1 heavy tank. I find that the captured KV-1 relies heavily on APCR rounds to go through the fronts of heavily armored tanks, so I definitely recommend that you have a large supply of them. And since this tank has matchmaking to see up to tier 7, you will find yourself in a lot of situations where you need those APCR shells to penetrate those tanks. You don't really get to see it in this game, but the captured KV-1 works quite well with heavy tank platoon mates. Whether you're teamed up with a fellow captured KV-1 to overwhelm enemies with your rate of fire, or you're covering the reload of an OI experimental, or even just preventing an AT-2 from getting swarmed, the captured KV-1 can be quite flexible to work around your platoon strategy. My teammates and I have done extremely well on this flank, and now it's time to press the attack. And with the artillery now tracking me, it couldn't have come at a better time. The decent mobility on the captured KV-1 adds to its flexibility. It's got a pretty good horsepower to weight ratio and a top speed of 34 kilometers per hour, which means that you're going to be able to keep pace with most assault moves, and it can allow you to get on the sides of enemy tanks, which is really useful when you're fighting tier 7s and you're just playing a supporting role, and your penetration isn't enough to penetrate the front of heavy tanks like the Black Prince, but once you get on the sides of the enemy, you can be a real pain and provide great support for your team's assault moves. I've already gotten 9 spotted target hits this game. The coated optics which my tank is equipped with definitely help with this. You should never forget how important it is to have spotting equipment on any tank. It's a great way to get some extra XP, and when you're using a tank that relies on a lot of APCR shells, it's a good way to make back some of that spent silver. My team has a substantial lead, and so now it's just time to clean up the remaining few enemies which are along the beach. One of the perks that the captured KV-1 has is that it can train both German and Soviet crews. It doesn't do terribly at training new crews, but if you really want to get the most out of the tank, I recommend having Sixth Sense and Repairs learned before using it. Once you have these 2 skills, it's really easy and enjoyable to learn other ones using the captured KV-1. No matter what class of tank the crew is intended for. With the OI experimental destroyed, all that's left is the T-150 and Hellcat, which are in a platoon together. Unfortunately, the T-150 manages to destroy my last platoon mate, and his death must be avenged. I feel really bad about what happens here. My Boilermaker teammate is trying to do a really awesome move and drive off the cliff onto the T-150. Unfortunately, I destroyed him just moments before he went off the cliff. If I had have noticed it, I would have definitely given him the opportunity to do that. It's hard to tell if the Boilermaker would have landed exactly on the T-150, but he landed pretty close to him and the T-150 was still backing up, so I think he would have been successful. If you ever see your teammate trying to do something cool like that, definitely give him the opportunity. Now let's check the post-game stats and see how I did. In this game, I only made 13,000 silver. This is without any multipliers from ops, and I didn't use any of my large kits, but I did fire 31 APCR shells. I earned 4,003 experience without any multipliers. Keep in mind that this tank has a 64% silver earning bonus and a 45% XP earning bonus. So if you play it right and you outfit it correctly, then you really have a lot of potential. I dealt 2,025 damage, assisted with 1,037 damage, blocked 1,060 damage, and destroyed 6 enemy vehicles. This earned me a top gun and unfortunately only a mastery badge 1. I placed at the top of my team, earning a base XP of 1,906. I managed to hit 39 of my 58 shots and penetrate 26 of those. Unfortunately, I didn't do much in terms of crew and module damage. I damaged the ammunition on the OI Experimental, the engine in the Hellcat, and injured the driver in the T-150. Well, that's all for this game. I hope you enjoyed it and that it'll help you play your own captured KV-1. Stay tuned for more awesome World of Tanks videos.